Hello, my charmed ones, and welcome back to my channel for another video. Today, I want to help you decide what your planning style is. This is a short 4-type self-assessment that you can use to identify your natural planning tendencies, including both your strengths and opportunities, so that you can learn which calendar and agenda spreads would work best for you and learn a few functional planning strategies that you may want to use to help you improve your planning to get more done. The following video was clipped from my 2023 Planner Launch Party live stream and edited down for brevity. And with each planning type, I will share the monthly calendar and day-to-day agenda types that you may want to consider from the Master Planner system to help you create your perfect functional planner. You'll find a link to purchase the latest Master Planner in the description of this video, along with links to a la carte planner inserts as well. I hope you enjoyed this video and be sure to let me know your planning type down in the comments. So now we get to the part. One of the fun parts of this live is how do we choose which inserts are right for me? How do I choose, right? Out of all these options, how do I choose, right? We need to first decide what your planning style is, right? So this is basically what I've been working on to try to help guide people to choose the best planner for them, and in turn to help them also understand maybe their strengths and opportunities as a planner as well. So if you've ever tried different planners or inserts in the past, but things didn't work out quite right for you, I've been working on a framework that you can use to choose not only the planning inserts that you need, but also the productivity strategies that will complement your natural planning tendencies. So remember, if you tried to get into the planning in the past and it didn't work out well, it may very well have been the planner itself. As I mentioned earlier, most planners only give you that tracking and allocating of work phase of the functional planning without giving you the space you need to really capture your brilliant ideas and then define strategic objectives from them. So I have broken this down into a system of 4 planning styles or planning types, okay? I'm going to read this out to you. You determine which one of these 4 types is you. Style number 1 is the scheduler. Are you the scheduler planning type? The scheduler works best on an hourly schedule because they have either a lot of appointments or meetings or different types of work that they need to do throughout the day. The scheduler gets confidence from the structure of a schedule, knowing that there is a time for everything and that everything will be done in time. One of the scheduler's biggest productivity issues, however, is that they overfill their day with tasks, and that can cause them to get behind schedule when tasks take longer than expected or a new urgent item takes their focus away from the schedule itself. So this planning style would benefit from creating a strong daily routine and implementing the concept of white space into their day to keep things on track. So the ideal calendar for this type is a month on 2 pages, and their ideal agenda is the day on 1 page. And for a bonus tip for you guys, for extra space, if you're someone using a day on 1 page, you can actually insert a note page between the individual days to give you like a makeshift day on 2 page layout. Let me show you guys what I mean by this. Okay, so here's our master plan system. Let me go to the back and pull out the notes page, okay? Just so you can kind of see this at work. Let's say that you're doing a day on 1 page, right? You're a scheduler, I need a day on 1 page. But you're like, I need a day on 2 pages actually. Double-sided note page, right in the center. Now you have a day on 2 pages. You've got your day, you've got some extra note spaces, right? It's going to alternate, obviously, but you've got what you need. There's your day on two pages now. That's all you have to do to upgrade this to a day on 2 page layout. Isn't that awesome? So just think about that if you're someone who also feels like they need even more space, that maybe that is a little trick that can help you. Right? Okay. So that is type 1, the scheduler. If you think you're the scheduler, let me know in the comments. We're going to move on to type 2. Okay. Type 2 is what I call the prioritizer. Are you a prioritizer planning type?
The prioritizer works best with a limited to-do list of prioritized tasks, as their work may be more detail-oriented and project-based. The prioritizer gets confidence to take action on their tasks when they have enough time to dive deep into their activities. They struggle with the pressure of time and feelings of perfectionism if they don't have the space to work on one task at a time at a higher level. So one of the prioritizers' biggest productivity struggles is that a long to-do list overwhelms them. So they need to brain dump their tasks, and then they filter those tasks through like the prioritization matrix to identify the few tasks that need their attention on a daily basis. This planning style would benefit from relying on the top 3 task list to establish focus on their work each day, and by utilizing time blocking for their projects so that each priority gets ample time for completion. There's actually like a time built in for you to work on each of your projects. Their ideal calendar is a month on one page, and their ideal agenda is a week on one page. Tip for them as well, for extra space with a week on one page, these planners can use a note page in between the weeks to give them additional writing space as necessary. The same way the day on one page would do that, someone who uses a week on one page, if you feel like the week on one page is maybe wouldn't be quite enough, but you like it the best, right? Here's the week on one page. Bada bing, bada boom. And you could do this with a task list too, right? You could do this with a task list. You could just print out a couple of the master monthly task lists if you wanted to. Just print them like back to back and put them in. You could add a task list, a note page to give you additional functionality. So you have a whole page of notes on there, right? So this is not like you're stuck, right? This is the beauty of these print on demand, these customizable planners. You can tweak them to your needs, right? Which is what I love. Okay, so that is the prioritizer. Let me know if you are a number 2, a prioritizer, in the comments. Okay, style number 3 is the lister. Are you the lister planning type? The lister works best off of a task list and prefers to write out a whole new list every single day to get a clear picture of all the priorities and obligations that they have on their plate for the short term. The lister gets confidence to take action on their tasks when they feel like they can see the complete picture and then choose to structure their day based on their natural workflow of tasks. One of the lister's biggest productivity struggles is that a long to-do list means more work to do in a day than can actually get done. And if they aren't mindful, that could mean that they spend time on a 9-priority task, pushing a higher priority item to the next day, which could cause issues or delays. This planning style would benefit from batching their work so that like tasks can be done together, saving them time and energy, and also from implementing the 80-20 rule, which is also known as the Pareto principle, that helps them to get clear on the priority tasks that will have the most significant outcomes for them. So the 80-20 rule, if you're not familiar, states that 80% of our results come from only 20% of our actions. So if you're a lister, it means if you made a full list for yourself, very likely only 20% of the things on that list are really high priority, and the rest of them are just kind of like small impacts, right? And so if you're able to identify what those 20% are that have the biggest impact and do those first, you're going to find that the tasks that end up being moved to the next day are less important, less valuable, less impactful, and so that you're not causing like fires for yourself, right, by pushing things off. So the ideal calendar is a month on 2 pages for a lister. So they have all that room to list all the different things into their monthly pages. And their ideal agenda is a vertical week on 2 pages so they can actually create like a full list every single day. So a tip for the lister, they should utilize a daily brain dump before making their daily to-do list on their agenda. This is a problem I see listers do, which is they put a whole big list on their daily agenda or in their week on 2 pages. But what they've done is put a lot of tasks that they don't actually need to be doing. So if you brain dump that stuff first on a brain dump sheet and then review it, you can cull your list and apply the most priority items, those like 80-20 items, onto your actual task list for the day, right? And of course, choose the top 3 as the most important, but that is the best optimized for a lister, okay? So if you are a number 3, let me know. And I'm going to go back at the end and read through everyone's number, okay? And give you guys a chance, because I know some of you might be thinking that kind of sounds like me. Let me read through all of ours before we decide what we are. Style number 4 is the completer, okay? Are you the completer planning type? The completer works best when they can focus on one project at a time until the work is complete. They like to get work off of their plate and they feel uneasy starting something new when existing work is not yet finished. The completer gets confidence to take action when they know exactly what needs to have their focus each day, and they can set up their environment so that they can work uninterrupted for longer periods of time until their work is complete. One of the completer's biggest productivity struggles is their environment, which needs to be as they like it in order for them to shift into a mindset for complete focus on their work. They also need to be mindful of their own personal energy, as their intense focus and commitment to their work can often drain them of energy when they do not stop to take breaks. This planning style would benefit from theming their workdays and creating an ideal weekly schedule that ensures that they're making time for healthy habits and routines that will keep their energy high and protect the boundaries that they set around their work. The ideal calendar for them is the month on one page, and their ideal agenda is the horizontal week on 2 pages. A tip for work completers: the completers should prioritize tracking their habits and specific activities to help them find patterns in their energy and focus. This will also help them to analyze tasks that are worth their time and which are not, so that they can spend the maximum amount of time in the work that creates a greater impact, okay? So those are the 4 personality types. Are you a number 4, the completer? Are you a 3, the lister? Are you a 2, the prioritizer? Or are you the 1, the scheduler? And if you guys want to know what I am, I'm a 4. I'm a completer. I like to work on one thing at a time and get it done and then move on to the next thing. That is me. And I could work all day long and not get up to eat and barely stop to go to the bathroom, right? Like, that's how I work, right? So I theme my work days, right? I have to make sure that my routine for the week and for the day really incorporates the habits that I don't want to forget about, or else I will forget about myself. I will deprioritize myself in pursuit of my work tasks, right? So those are the 4 list types. Let me go ahead and, let your planning style, drop me a comment, let me know. I'm going to go back and see where I start seeing numbers. Joanne thinks she's a lister. Irene, definitely a lister. Madeline is a lister. Kitten is a lister. Quita is a lister. Erica is a 2, prioritizer. Tanya thinks she is a completer. Oh, Joanne is now unsure if she's a lister or a completer. Maybe I'm used to being a lister, but would benefit more from being a completer. This is the thing I will say about this. Number 1, it's not perfect, right? It's just, these are trends I've seen from working with people and their productivity and what their needs are. So none of these are going to be 100% right for everyone. And it's not about understanding what you wish you were. So Joanne said something very interesting that I want to kind of make a little lesson for everyone to understand. It's not about saying, I think I would benefit more from being a completer, right? I think we could say that about anything in life. I wish I was more like this, right? But that's not helpful to focus on what you'd rather be, whatever you think is the more productive. We don't want to throw away our own tendencies and say, this is what I'd rather be, because that's not working with ourselves, right? You have natural gifts and abilities. Your brain works in a very specific way in which it sees information. Your energy has an existing pattern, right? For the way things need to be before you're going to be motivated to get your work done, right? So identify which one you really think it is. What really motivates you, what really is the problem that you end up having, right? And how your actual work style is throughout the day. Oh, obliger. Obliger is the one that does for other people. Questioner, I'm a rebel. Questioner will do things for other people if it makes sense. I can't think of the person who stays accountable to themselves. I'm sure someone's going to tell me in the comments. But yes, Peyton says she's a 3. Rebecca is a lister. Canto says that she is a 4, the completer. Jen is a lister. Ellie is a lister. Irene is a combo between prioritizer and the completer. And I will say, prioritizer and completer are very similar. They are very similar. The difference is that a prioritizer can manage multiple projects at once, and is okay with kind of jumping from thing to thing. A completer isn't really as okay with that. Like, they might force themselves to go work on something else that is more priority in the moment, a completer, but they're going to be like, oh, I feel weird that I didn't finish something else. Like you don't like, and what also happens with a completer is this, because this is definitely an Alexis thing. If I don't finish something and I move on to the next thing, it's really hard for me to come back to the original thing if I've kind of had to written it off. I've had to like compartmentalize my brain. So a prioritizer could easily move between multiple projects like it's nothing. I can't do that. I know sometimes I have to, but I cannot do that very gracefully. Right, so that's the difference because they're very similar. Dory is a 1 and a 4. Danny is a 3. Sarah says definitely a completer, forced to be a scheduler. See, isn't that important to know? See, it depends on the amount of work you do, right? So like I know that Sarah does work sometimes, maybe not fully, where she has maybe appointments throughout the day, right? So that kind of forces a person who might not naturally be planning that way to have to plan that way. And it's important really, I would say, to make sure if you're in a situation like that, that you do understand the pitfalls and setbacks, and especially like what that productivity tip was that I gave you, like what a scheduler needs to make sure that they're doing, right, to keep everything on track for them, like the productivity strategies, right? It's important because that might actually help you to kind of bridge the gap between the two. Absolutely. Joanne says, I always do 95% of a task and I drop off at the end. And then do you like never come back to it? Like, do you have a completion problem? Are you the opposite of the completer? By the way, that's a very common situation that a lot of women have, is they kind of get cold feet, and it might be a perfectionist mindset thing. We'd have to really like deconstruct it to understand. Dory says, yes, I am a completer. That fear of not getting back to a task stops me cold. Okay, awesome. See? It's all about these mindsets, right? So I hope that this was helpful for you guys and gave you a little bit of insight on like what your planning styles are and what you could be, what planning types, like what planning inserts types would be the most applicable to you, and some, some little strategies, right, to help you really watch out for those pitfalls, but also lean into what your strengths are.
Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope this gave you some great insight into your planning style and helps you choose the best functional planner for yourself. Just to let you know, as this video goes live, I'm currently running 2 promotions in the Charmed shop. You can get 20% off anything in the shop with the code 2023launch, or if you like my style and philosophies and want to get group coaching and accountability with me for a whole year, the annual membership option for the Charmed Life Mastermind is currently on sale, and you get the entire dated master plan system for free as a gift with purchase for enrolling. Let me know if you have any questions I can help answer, and I will see you inside the mastermind or in my next video. Bye-bye!